the green hell. Could be Moritz, I didn't see, but I think it was Andy. Good morning, comrades. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another sunny, beautiful day at Nürburgring by Apex. We are currently going to Brünchen because there is something very special. But first, a bit of traffic jam. Traffic jam to the opposite direction. Is that a
Supra?
No, it's a bit better than that. SL 300 convertible for a big wing. I think it's here. Yeah, that's our car, and this is the reason why we are here. The 90s kids, the 80s kids require no introduction. But in case you're some of the younger audience or you didn't care about cars, you just started getting into cars recently, this is, ladies and gentlemen, Mercedes 190E Evo 2. Built as a homologation special for entering DTM in 1990. There were only 502 of them built. 235 horsepower, naturally aspirated by a Cosworth engine, and the craziest part is, or are, the aerodynamics. Immediately on the rear, imagine seeing this wing even nowadays, it's getting crazy, but seeing this in the 90s, but that's only its base form, because first of all you have here a spoiler that you can flip open. In addition, you have here this spoiler that you can extend, so it becomes like a really big ducktail wing. On the front, like today, you know, from the Black Series AMG, you have actually a lip that you can extend even further, but then it becomes non-street legal. As mentioned, only 502 of them made for homologation, actually 500, because 2 of them remained in the museum. Well, the best part is of course the engine, and especially the way that it sounds. There is more noise coming from the intake than from the exhaust. Wow. However, it looks like an Evo 2, it sounds like an Evo 2, and it has pretty much all the parts from an Evo 2, but it's not an original Evo 2, so sorry for kind of confusing you at the beginning. It did start its life as a 2.5 16 190E, but everything from an Evo 2 has been put on by its first original owner, who bought the car in '92 and then converted it basically to an Evo 2. So everything is actually factory spec. Everything is in the papers, everything is approved, but it is at the end of the day for like real nitpickers. Like, yeah, it's not an Evo 2. The only difference is, as of now, because it will be changed, is the differential, which is on the Evo 2 is a bit shorter, and the engine, which is custom built. Original Evo 2 has different crankshaft, so it can go up to 8,500 RPM, but this one will be changed later. And there is one more thing that a real connoisseur will recognize it, is this front panel on the Evo 2. It is kind of like quickly detachable, which was made purely for DTM purposes, that you could easily remove the front and you could swap out the engine. But for the rest, like really everything is from Evo 2. Let's have a quick look on the interior. Look at that. And of course, the dog-leg gearbox. So the first one is bottom right, just like you have on the E30 M3. This is great. Look at that. Beautiful. The interior is almost immaculate. It's better than some of the newer cars. The state of it. Oh. Wonderful. Here comes the painful bit. Painful bit for the channel, but very understandable. Of course, we're here at the Nürburgring. There are a lot more 190s and also Evo 1s that we'll take a look at. And I asked the owner, are you going for a lap? And he said, listen, I have like 250,000 kilometers on sim behind me and many laps in real life, but at no chance I'm gonna go with this car and risk it, because like if you even have like a coolant spill or something, then what? There's no way you can replace it. It's, yeah, immaculate, and I can totally understand it. So maybe we can do one day a private track session with this car, because again, the way it sounds, you know what? Let's go do a round, like do a drive around the road. Running a bit rich. Toby, dank je dir. We zien ons nächste Mal. Danke dir. Now that was an absolute bucket list item, to experience such an engine, such a car. Too bad we couldn't do more with it, but I guess gives you an incentive to work hard and maybe one day to be able to afford something like that. Although the real ones are probably not priced like what, €500,000 or so. So we need to work really hard. Before we leave, let's walk around and show some other cars. So for example, here we have a car that belonged to Bodo Buschmann, the founder of Brabus. So that's quite special. Then I think we had also some Evo 1s, which are also quite special. I think there was one parked over there. Yeah, let's have a look with some oh, look at that, carbon fiber hood block. Yeah, so we have here an Evo 1. That is an original one. You can find more on owner's Instagram. Really cool. Hi. Where was I? I think it's actually, that's pretty much it. I mean, we can stand around and gaze at all of them. Oh, well, final thing I'm being reminded of, Senna. Ayrton Senna was the first Formula 1 driver to win the race, a Formula 1 unofficial race on the Nürburgring with Mercedes 190E. When the GP track of the Nürburgring was built in 1984, they held the so-called Race of Champions, where all the Formula 1 drivers would participate, everyone, including Ayrton Senna, who was driving his first ever race, and no one has heard of him before that. And he has won from everyone. From Niki Lauda, who was back then the Nordschleife or Nürburgring master, and also I think reigning champion. And yeah, the rest is history. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. But I think we're gonna go and check out some more old-timers since we have this feeling. And I gotta say, you know, this made me feel like one of the old school car meetings that I would attend like 10 years ago, like really dedicated to a certain car or brand or well, model of a car, and you just walk around, talk to people, like admire each other's cars. Especially after 2 years of COVID, this was something really special. So thank you very much for allowing me to experience it, and I hope you guys enjoyed also the video. But like I said, we go to another classic paddock where we're gonna see some more classic cars just to fill up this content. And here's, by the way, another Evo 1. Not as extreme aerodynamics, but still extreme enough for the 90s. And from the Brunchen car park we have transitioned. We have arrived at the old paddock of Nürburgring, where there is, I don't know, classic rally taking place. I think the main stuff was happening yesterday, so today actually not that many cars are here. That's why there's also a mix of like just random cars parked up here, but we can still have a look at some interesting exemplars. What is this even? A TR6 has a sway bar on the front, which is just like visible. What is it? It kind of looks like a Porsche 914, but obviously it isn't. That's gorgeous as well. Is that the E9? It looks like an E9. Yeah, 3-liter CS E9. I guess that's one of the later 356s. 365s, I mean, sorry. 1958 Corvette. With a steering lock. There's no alarm. Back in the days. Z1 550 Spider. It's probably a replica. We can just assume that it's a replica. Trabant. The Audi Coupe S. But I'm more of a fan of this Rothmann's Porsche. But actually, I'm more fascinated by this Volvo 544. If you can read this, then means I lost my caravan. Yeah, well, when you look at from afar, or from the far, or from the front, I mean, it looks like a regular 504, but look closer. These look like high-performance tires, like semi-slicks that you could mount on whatever wheel is available on this car. When you look inside, you have some trip meter computer. Let's see, yeah. No, like this, yeah, good. And then bucket seats, and also a roll cage. Interesting. What's the brake setup? Some old school. Well, yeah, that's a real race car, a rally car. Funnily enough, this might be the only original Carman Ghia that I've seen in my life. Usually I see them at some stance meetings being fully stanced out or rusted rat rod dropped and whatnot. And is this a MI16? Look like it. Peugeot. Oh, it's just 309 GTI. I think I'm kind of done for today, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and looking forward to seeing you in tomorrow's video. And for now, instead of food shots, something still very tasty, some nice compilation shots that Adrian made of this paddock. Enjoy, see you tomorrow, bye.